Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday night, so you know what that means. It's time for another episode of Radiation Therapy. This is the only podcast clinically proven to kill acute cases of social justice cancer. With me tonight, as always, is Jay Fry.
Hello.
And filling in for Macabra, we have our good friend. Wait for it. Coat Rack 89.
Hi.
And Greasy Faggot could not be here tonight, so hopefully we'll see her next week. Guys, how's it going?
I'm all right.
Good. Kodrak's not going to be here. Or Kodrak. Greasy Faggot's not.
Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm disinvited already. Nice.
Now,
Glad to have you on.
Yeah, it's really good to have Coat Rack on. He's been one of our Twitter pals for quite some time now, and as Jay was pointing out before we started the show, he will be, I believe, the last of our regular shit posters that like to rip on Matt.
Very accurate.
So, very happy to have him. Well, guys, it has been. Sorry, was that Jay?
So we just need to branch out more.
Yeah. So it has been a fun week for news and politics. I just want to begin by saying Kofefe.
Kofefe.
Kofife. Yeah, I got nothing.
Peace and blessings be upon the head of Kofefe.
Yes.
So I've just imagined that Kofefe is like, you know, Kek's wife or something like that.
This is my god, Kek, his wife, Kofefe.
Yes, the goddess Kofefe.
I'm still convinced by the periodic table interpretation.
That is one. Why don't you run us through that real quick?
Okay, so with Kofefe, if you take CO, which you know on the periodic table of elements,
Cobalt.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, from the CO, you get 27 as its atomic number. If you take the V, you get 23 as the atomic number. And if you take iron, Fe, you get 26, twice for Fefe. So anyway, if you put in the atomic numbers in order, the 27, 23, 26, 26 into Google, and I tested this, the first link that shows up mentions a green toad in its title.
Wow, that's not just.
That is master race trolling by Donald Trump, right?
Yes.
It wasn't like it was a mistake or anything, but yeah, I think it's just masterful trolling.
Yeah, he was sitting there like, do I need to add a couple of HEs? Maybe add a helium or just. No, I think there we go. Kofefe. That sounds much better.
Yes.
Indeed, it does. And I watched this this infographic thing, this little animated deal where it showed the proliferation of Kofefe as in tweets around the world, and in like 12 hours, it just blew up the entire globe. And leftists that were making fun of him for that, it's like, if you guys never made a typo, so it's just stupid to make fun of him for a typo. But for us, it's just gold because Kofefe is now a thing.
Well, I saw it probably like an hour and a half in when people started really talking shit about it. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I Googled it. And I wish I would have screenshot it because it had like 22,000 results. And then the next day, when I looked it up, it had 100,000 results.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh, I should have screenshot that first time. And I tried to look up anything past, the day it happened prior to it, just to see if it was anything.
Yeah.
Couldn't find a damn thing.
Well, I saw an article, I forgot, maybe it was The Independent or something, anyway, that said by deleting the Kofefe tweets, he's breaking the law because all presidential communications are supposed to be recorded, which is, funny
What
because
the fuck? Are you
yes,
kidding me?
yes. Although
No,
I mean, seriously, can a rational human being say that anything the president tweets is not recorded forever?
Yeah, even if you delete a tweet, it's there for eternity. It's not. I mean, look, the guy tweets something, and like 30 seconds later, there's 5,000 responses from angry liberals.
I saw. It was in poll. It was 1,136 responses 1 minute after the tweet. Like it showed on the
Yeah.
timeline, it was 1 minute old, and it had 1,136 responses.
Yeah, I mean, these rabid, histrionic liberals, they all follow Donald Trump, and when he tweets something out, they express their anger, to fight the man or what, they're trying to fight Donald Trump from their fucking iPhones. Good luck.
Keyboard warriors.
It's pretty funny. It's actually really funny how many. There's some good comedy if you just choose any of his tweets and just start reading the comments, and you're gonna laugh. It's like going to the comedy club. Probably better than the comedy club because you're guaranteed to laugh reading those tweets.
You're like, ha, you drunk old schmuck, go home. I'm like, his home is just as nice as the White House.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I was having this.
Oh,
go ahead.
I just went to his page right now to test that. 23 minutes ago, he tweeted "Make America Great Again," and yeah, obviously the very first response you see is like
Go
some.
fuck yourself.
Well, it's yes, as soon as you leave, and a link to join the March for Truth.
Oh, jeez.
And then her also continuing on with stuff about Putin and.
Here's some cancer.
Okay, honestly, have they released any evidence yet of any
No,
Russian
not.
collusion?
The closest
Yeah,
right
it's
now
been
they
over
have
half a
is-
year since this allegation. I mean,
Well, the closest they have apparently is Kushner was talking to somebody in the Kremlin about setting up a backdoor channel prior to inauguration. That's the closest thing they have right now, and there's no real anything besides that statement. So we'll see. We'll see. But anything they can say that has Trump and Russia in the sentence, they'll say it. That's all they do.
yeah, or Putin.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious to me that the same people that are absolutely insane on Russia. That's all they live, breathe, sleep, eat, drink. Russian conspiracy. The very same people that do that share this, the same people on the same networks, they were all the ones laughing their asses off when Mitt Romney said Russia was the greatest geopolitical threat facing the United States at the time that he debated Obama.
Yeah.
They were all laughing their asses off like, what a dumbass, what an idiot.
That's true. That is true.
Now, not only is Russia not a joke, but it is an even greater threat than it ever has been in the history of the relationship between the two countries. Screw the Cold War. Screw the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is far worse. Just the mountains of evidence that they have. The mountains of evidence that they have that they don't have anything.
Well, to be fair, we don't have proof that they don't have proof that there's proof.
That's true. We don't have proof that they don't have proof that there is proof that there's not proof that the White House has proof that there's no proof that they have no proof of ties. So you're right.
Sounds reasonable to me.
We are proofless.
They're such idiots. I mean, they're just like I just saw a message. Oh man, I am tripping all over my tongue today. I just got a message from a friend, and he was talking about Comey, how Comey's going to be testifying in the next whatever week or a couple days or something. And he says, I don't care anything about Comey. I don't care one bit about who he is or what he's done. The only thing I care about is for him to come out and just destroy Trump because Trump is evil or something like that. I'm like, what has Trump hasn't had time to do anything. The guy's only been in office for what? February, March, April, May, like 4.5 months. Like 4 months and a week. The guy's barely been in office. What do you guys expect that he's going to come out and be like, oh yeah, well, so yeah, when he first got into the presidency, he opened up a private, Skype to Vladimir Putin, and they both just saw each other, and then they got naked and they started jerking off, and then they were drinking blood, and there were these skulls of I mean, like,
that's disgusting. No, I'm not talking about what you're saying. I'm saying what joined the chat. Sorry. Go on.
Well, fuck you too, Coat Rack.
If you insist.
All right. So,
like I don't already, bitch.
What?
Glad you made it. I thought you were working.
Yeah, I work until 7, faggot.
We start at 7.
Yeah,
what
but
time
this
zone
is
are we
not
talking?
7.
You said you weren't going to be able to make it because you work.
I said unless you guys started late. And you guys started late.
Well, you can still jump on anytime you get back. It's not like we're going to go, oh, okay, sorry, you weren't here for the beginning, so couldn't introduce you, so you have to leave.
Totally something.
Well, faggot, you didn't answer my fucking message. I'm the one communicating here, Brash, not you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to run the show and don't have, all kinds of time to sit and wait for your freaking messages to come by. I'm really sorry about that.
It was an hour ago.
Yeah, but you told me I messaged you. You said I work today. I said damn, and then nothing until just 54 minutes ago.
Because I was working.
Jeez.
Some people.
All right. Well, you know what? I forgive you, and may Kofefe bless you.
May Cake bless you.
No, we've decided. I'm gonna drop a picture, but Kofefe is actually I've decided is Kek's wife. That's the secret message.
Oh. Okay.
Kofefe's lost wife.
I see.
If Kek had a wife, what would the head be, you think?
Another frog?
Oh, Egyptian gods and goddesses all had, different stuff.
Maybe a toad?
No, an anime girl.
No way, that's way too much autism. I'm not drawing that.
Kek's waifu.
It only makes sense.
Awesome.
It does.
Hey, guys, you take a minute and tweet out the tweet for the show.
Oh, I did.
Okay, great.
Fine. All this extra work on top of work.
You know what? You know what? I'm about to Paris accord your ass out of this podcast.
Well, we're stretching for that one.
Yeah, how's that for a transition? So now we're going to talk about...
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good, to be honest.
yeah, so fuck you, Jay. It was good.
Speaking of leaving somebody dead on the side of the road, let's talk about the Paris Accord.
So, Paris Accord. So anyway, Donald Trump decided that America is pulling out of that, pulling out of the Paris Accord, like Jay pulls out of a $5 hooker.
Fuck.
You can afford that?
It's a $5 hooker. You don't have to pull it.
You can afford that. Coat Rack with the fatality. Oh my gosh. Great job.
I have a hooker fund. Fuck all of you. All
right. So
George Takei actually made that very reference.
Oh, really?
Trump's daddy. Yeah. That
Well,
was his
okay.
response. Pulled out of the Accord. Too bad Trump's father didn't pull out of his
Oh
bitch
God,
mother.
that was so stupid. Ugh.
That is lame. That is very lame.
Like,
My joke was
oh,
much better.
Yep.
way to beat on the breeders, George. Way to go.
Oh wait, Jay,
Fucking breeders.
Jay, I don't know if you play video games, but if you do, I'm assuming afterwards you ran her over to get your $5 back, because I heard that's what video games cause you to do.
Oh, that's a good one. They come
Not
with
only
my
that, not only did he get his $5 back, but he got a dime bag of weed and a little bit of coke and a whole lot of meth. So he was a
Oh,
happy man.
all right.
yeah.
As long as there was
So,
some meth.
so Jay, why don't you before we talk about Trump, the reasons why he decided to pull us out, and also the reaction from the histrionic left. Why don't you give us a quick history of what it is and why it exists?
Well, but why it exists, that's rather questionable. But basically, it's a version of the Kyoto Protocols that have been expanded to supposedly ish, possibly, not really, 195 nations. Even though we found a couple that didn't want to get into it.
Nicaragua and
But,
Syria.
but Venezuela and North Korea managed to sign on,
Yes.
so they don't have anything going on in their countries that could have had anything to do with anything. But it's basically it was a way to reduce carbon emissions and the quantifiable billions of trillions of tons of CO2 that are in our air, and it gives funding to low emission countries and penalizes high emission countries. High emission countries on that list, America. So and you'll catch this with pretty much every scenario that these people are complaining about. This is a way to not only penalize America, but to do on a massive scale wealth redistribution. And that's really what these globalists are all about. You could tell from the 8 years we dealt with Obama, which he signed this agreement in I think June or July of 90 of 2015. But it's a necessary way to hurt America, to bring us down to a level that the rest of the world can gain on. And with that, they're talking about by 2020, it will cost every American household, that is a house that has energy in it, $7,000. We'll take 2.5 million energy jobs off the books, and to a tune of a couple $1 trillion hurt the American economy.
And I see.
And I'm just
I'd heard it was that you would not only on top of extra energy costs, but the loss of GDP would basically cost every American family something to the tune of $20,000. 20,000 a year, I believe. It was a lot, but
well,
basically, go ahead.
it's got to be because that's how they see it. When you want to equalize the world, there are countries that have nothing,
Yeah,
and there are countries that have everything, like America. Wonderful country, great, beautiful people, lots of fat people, which means there's tons of food because they ate it all. So you can't get Ethiopia to great big fat asses like America. So to do that, some Americans will have to starve to put food on the Ethiopian plate.
They have plates.
They will have plates. It's going to be a thing. They're going to be like, "What's this?" And then they're going to try to eat it because they're stupid. But but right now they're trying to cut us off at the knees so that everybody else can have more, as if we're the only ones who have ingenuity and creativity to create fucking plates.
well, and also, you know, what this also does is they're also asking third world countries to do with less energy. Less energy will be produced by the world all over, all over, all the way through. So you're asking people in third world countries to do with less energy. Some of them, it's something like 1.3 billion people in the world do not have electricity. So we're going to ask them to do with less.
Obama went to fucking Africa and told them they won't be able to have air conditioning in Africa.
He did not do that.
Satan went to Africa and said, fuck, it's hot here, I'm going home.
Obama really did that.
Yeah, in like 2009. Oh, it was so funny.
That is like pretty damn funny. And that's the thing. This also tells other countries, you cannot have your industrial revolution. We've already had ours. Our left-wing lunatics are all enjoying their iPhones, driving their new cars. They're living in large homes. Like, they're doing great. You guys are going to have to stay in the third world. You can't use coal because that's bad for the environment. So you can't have that. You guys can't have that extra energy. You can't have that extra electricity because fuck you. You need to stay poor. That's basically what it sounds like to me.
And these lefties are idiots because this is part of it is Elon Musk, who owns Tesla, it just withdrew from Trump's cabinet of people. It's like, dude, now you have no say in anything.
Exactly. I mean, if anything, he should have put out a tweet that said, I will do everything in my power to convince this president that climate change is a pressing issue and that we need to do something about it. That's what he should have done. I'm glad he didn't. But, if you really want to fight for the environment, why would you give up your seat next to the most powerful man on the planet? Are you stupid?
Well,
and
Trump
the guy from Disney walked away too.
Who?
Inger or whatever. Disney's president? Brendan Eager?
Eisner? Is that
no,
is that what you're talking about? Oh no, I think he's out.
Yeah, it was Inger. Iger.
Well, whatever. I guess that it doesn't seem, even if you don't like the person, you don't like their policies, it seems counterproductive to sever ties with them because you disagree with one of their decisions.
Especially if they're the one with the power.
Yeah. I mean, you're giving up a massive platform to speak with the most powerful man on the planet. It seems absolutely counterproductive.
I disagree with all of Obama's policies, and I will remind him of that every single day that he lets me stay in his cabinet. Like,
exactly.
Why would you walk away from that?
You're an idiot, I guess.
Trump didn't even say he doesn't care about any of this stuff. He just said he's willing to renegotiate for a deal that doesn't screw America. And some of the other nations are saying this is France, Germany, and Italy were saying that the deal is non-negotiable. So if they really cared, I think they would want to keep America in.
Well, it's non-negotiable because America would be funding a major part of the bill, just like they fund a major part of the UN, just like they fund a major part of the World Health Organization. America's funding the bill on all these, they're quality institutions and the UN. Exactly. Glad somebody got that. And we pay a major part of all of this just because we're bigger. That's not how it should work. I mean, the UN almost never benefits us. Like, if they had a chance to cut us off at the knees, they would do it. They always do it.
Yeah.
And these countries or these groups hate us while we're contributing minimum 33% to these fucking groups.
Yeah.
As one country, when there's
America already polices the world. Okay. How many countries rely on us for defense? The list is enormous.
Read off all the countries in NATO to start, other than the U.S.
I think it would be easier to name countries that don't
rely
on us for defense.
We we already
But as
put out
North Korea.
billions and billions and billions of dollars in foreign aid every year, and they're pissed off that Trump is saying, this isn't very good for us. Let's rethink this. I'm going to back out, and we'll talk later. But this is not a good deal for America, and people lose their minds.
It's just ridiculous. Fuck you guys, I'm going home. But we got Cuomo, the governor of New York, like, don't worry, New York, we're still going to implement this, and you all are going to pay through the nose for everything.
Yeah, don't worry, we're still
They're
going to
already paying through the nose for everything.
Of course they are, but that's where they want to live, and that's at least that's the nice thing about the United States. You don't like a way that a state is treating you, you can get out. And apparently these people, at least some of them are living their beliefs. So I guess I got to give them some credit. They're staying in New York and paying, 60% of their income in taxes.
Well, like right now I've got, at minimum 60%.
Yeah.
I bought property in Tennessee. And
look at the big spender.
Look at me. And I'm actually making that money back by selling the timber on my my property.
Oh, nice, dude.
A company that is collecting trees. And they can only collect certain size trees. But when they're done with the land, I'll have spent $22,000, and I will have made $32,000. But I have to remove the stumps, and that's going to cost me like 20 grand. So it's not like a perfectly even thing. But if they would have bought the property themselves, taken the trees, removed the stumps, they could have taken a 10,000 piece of property and turned it into a 25,000 piece of property with the benefit of having the damn lumber. So that's 1.5 times what they spent on it, and they're making it back, plus they're selling it. Making back everything plus 15, plus having gotten the lumber for free, basically. But there's a law on the books that they can't do that.
Why?
Because that's against the law for a corporation to temporarily purchase land for enrichment purposes.
What's killing me about this is that's all around better for them. And kind of, I mean, how much would you have been able to purchase that property for? What would they sell it for? 25?
Well, I mean, it's basically flat, so that's pretty impressive.
Okay, what I'm saying is when they're done with it, if they own the property, what could they have sold it to you for?
Well, if they bought my land and cleared it and took the stumps,
yeah,
$50,000.
$50,000. Okay. Wow. I don't know. Great job, government. So, all right. So, let's talk about
timber industry, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and what's crazy about timber is it's a completely renewable resource. It's completely renewable.
Eventually.
And they still give you a hard time on it, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
A full-size tree doesn't clean up nearly as much oxygen as a growing tree does. So if anything, you want new trees. Like 5 new trees beat the shit out of an old tree.
Huh. I never thought of that, but that sounds reasonable. All right, from the Daily Mail. Here's the headline. I represent the people of Pittsburgh, not Paris. Trump pulls out of climate accord, saying it is a foreign attempt to seize American jobs and American wealth, and is immediately attacked by Obama. This part kills me. Obama reacted before Trump even finished speaking, saying action means U.S. joins a small handful of nations that reject the future. That is hilarious. Can you guys just imagine Obama in his Hawaiian bungalow or wherever the hell he is now, furiously tweeting away on his BlackBerry or whatever? I think he still used a BlackBerry when he was president.
Yeah.
That's racist.
He's still in D.C.
He's in D.C. now?
Yeah, he bought a property in DC
Well,
and put
I knew that. I thought he was still vacationing, but I guess he's back so he can fuck with Donald Trump, even though every single goddamn president before him has just gone away. So great job on that. Okay, so he
go build
says.
houses with Carter, fucker.
So he said in his speech, "We don't want other leaders and other countries laughing at us anymore, and they won't be. They won't be. I was elected to represent the citizens of Pittsburgh and not Paris."
Which is
And
weird
you know what?
because the speech was
That's
at the
awesome.
Rose Garden.
What's weird?
The speech was at the Rose Garden, so why is he talking about Pittsburgh?
Well, yeah, because
It starts with the same letter
it's
as
a cold
Paris.
town. It's a cold town.
I thought they were a steel town.
Steel Town, sorry, Steel Town. And or it was. And Pittsburgh, Paris, both start with P. That would be my guess. But just generally making the assertion that, hey, we're gonna put America first over other countries. Sorry. Like every other country on the planet, they do the same thing, but when America does it, we're racist and whatever you want to call that kind of action. They always just say America is a horrible place. Well, how about we cut off your credit lines effective immediately, and see how your economies do, rest of the world.
And stop defending you.
Yeah, no kidding. He says the bottom line is that the Paris Accord is very unfair at the highest level to the United States. He argued later, the agreement is a massive redistribution of United States wealth to other countries. Yes, it is. This agreement is less about the climate and more about other countries gaining a financial advantage over the United States. Correct again. Many of the other countries haven't spent anything, and many of them will never pay one dime. That is so true. I mean, what? Germany hasn't paid their NATO fees in how many years? They owe how many billions to the United States, even though we still cover their asses every time? Foreign leaders in Europe, Asia, and across the world should not have more to say with respect to the U.S. economy than our own citizens and their elected representatives. So far, I'm not hearing anything I'm disagreeing with.
See, and it's not just that, but they're talking about hindering production in the United States.
Yeah.
Which means effectively that we couldn't, like during World War II, we shut down production of vehicles. We didn't make cars during the war. We made tanks. GE made guns. We made Jeeps in Detroit and tanks and aircraft parts. So they were effectively putting a stop to World War in a way.
We lose you, Jay? I think we lost Jay, or at least he's having trouble.
Oh, well, that's better.
Oh, that's better. Hilarious. Okay, I'll read a little bit more of what he said. The Paris Agreement.
Everybody.
The Paris Agreement handicaps the United States economy in order to win praise from the very foreign capitals and global activists that have long sought to gain wealth at our country's expense. They don't put America first. I do, and I always will. He outlined what he said the accord would do to the American economy: 2.7 million lost jobs by 2025, $3 trillion in lost GDP by 2050, and an average income loss of $7,000. Yeah, there's nothing that he's saying that I am not excited about. As someone who cares deeply about the environment, which I do, Trump said, I cannot in good conscience support a deal that punishes the United States, which is what it does, the world's leader in environmental protection, while imposing no meaningful obligations on the world's leading polluters.
I wish I did
China. What?
I wish I did a good Trump. Like, no one loves the environment like me, which I do.
Nobody loves the environment like I do. Nobody. Ask anyone. I'm the biggest supporter of the environment. That was a lousy Trump. Sorry.
Yeah, mine's worse.
China will be allowed to build hundreds of additional coal plants. So we can't build the plants, but they can, according to this agreement, he said. India.
Doesn't China pollute more than us?
Oh, yeah. India will be allowed to double its coal production by 2020. Think of it. India can double their coal production. We're supposed to get rid of ours. Even Europe is allowed to continue construction of coal plants.
Well,
So,
the pollution in China is so bad that when they harvest certain animals, the hair on the wind goes all the way to California.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
So there's like the when they harvest sheep and wool, it gets shot so far up into the air somehow that it lands in California.
Wow. That is something else.
And then the smog as well.
So that's basically the rundown and of Trump's reasons. Let's see here. Okay, here's some talking points, looks like, from the White House, maybe. Yeah, this is distributed by this is an official White House document setting out why Trump is leaving. So 3 trillion lost GDP. Let's see, our economy would lose 6.5 million industrial sector jobs
by 2040.
By 2040, 6.5 million jobs by 2040. That's basically around the corner. Let's see, decapitate the coal industry. Deal was negotiated badly and extracts meaningless commitments from the world's top polluters. That's very true. Let's see, I saw some list that it's basically what each nation was doing, how much money they were spending on environmental stuff, and the United States is at the very top, and China's not even on the list. They're not even on the list.
Did you see Crowder's video on the Paris Accord?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty great.
He talks about Germany and how they've managed to screw themselves so badly with the wind and solar.
I love the yeah. What? Sorry, say one more time.
How Germany screwed themselves with wind and solar, and when they have a surplus, they sell it at a negative.
They sell it at a negative. They sell their energy at a loss.
They just don't have any.
Yeah, they just don't. I love this one. Under the accord, China will actually increase emissions until 2030. And it says here, the U.S. is already a clean energy and oil and gas energy leader. We can reduce our emissions and continue to produce American energy without the Paris Accord. Thank you. Why do we even need to be on this stupid thing? We can do it ourselves.
I don't believe in the climate change as they have it, but like man-made climate change is not something I truly believe in, because I've read about ice ages before, and I understand that the seasons change and there are earth cycles. But I still plan to have the whole south roof of my house covered in solar panels, because it's an effective way to sometimes get energy.
Okay.
Like during the daytime when it's not cloudy. But I don't plan to only have windmills and that. I'll have a fireplace and all sorts of other goodies that burn fossil fuels, because that's how you have power.
Yeah, at least right now. That very well could change, probably will change in the next 100 years as technologies for, green energy get better. But, at this point, I love these leftists that are running around in electric cars that cost way more to produce in terms of energy because of their batteries. They have a lot of toxic chemicals in those batteries, toxic substances. Those batteries, they go into landfills, they go into wrecking yards. Those batteries just don't turn into carbon eating vines when they die, they but where do electric cars get their electricity? Coal.
Wait,
Coal
no,
power.
no. I thought it was I thought it was unicorn tears and the rainbows.
No, it's unicorn farts.
Oh,
So yeah.
I think that's wind power. I think we're talking about two different things now.
So I really have to give it to the Daily Mail on this article because this caption is killing me. It shows former President Barry going up the walkway to his private jet, and the caption is "Speaking out. Obama has made a series of foreign trips, all of them on private jets, and used Trump's Rose Garden announcement to explicitly attack the new president." That's a caption. That's the caption. Mail Online. You are Daily Mail. You are my favorite publication right now because of that. That is amazing.
Yeah, and back to like the electric car batteries. It's even environmentally harmful just mining for the materials to make them. We have to mine so much more now.
Yeah,
And
but
because
that's in Africa. But that's in Africa, so we're fine.
I thought there was a lot of mining going on here in Utah too.
Utah and for a lot of rare minerals, they got Utah and Nevada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So much mining.
I was just busting Gazi Koto's balls.
All right, Coat Rack.
Yes.
You want to take us through the the Hollywood Reporter stars and politicians respond to Trump's plan to withdraw U.S. from Paris Climate Agreement. I love this because I'm going to caption this part of the show, the precious celebrity segment. What in God's name would we do without our precious celebrities telling us what to think? So, Korak, take it away.
Well, while we're on the topic of opinions that don't matter, anyway. Well, real quickly, I just wanted to point out one of my favorites is the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio, how he's criticizing this. Today, our planet suffered. It's more important than ever to take action. # Paris Agreement. The guy with his private yacht and
yeah, private jet, private yacht, does whatever the hell he wants, and he's going to criticize you and I for driving an SUV.
Oh, and that private jet that he's flown over 1 million miles in the last year to protest climate change.
Oh my God, that is like his carbon footprint is probably the size of about 1 million people by this point.
Bigfoot is real.
Yeah.
His name is Leonardo DiCaprio.
No kidding. His Bigfoot's carbon footprint here is probably larger than a million average Americans.
I would say average Americans, but like the Ethiopians are probably piling up.
We gotta tell Matt.
Well, I'm sure it's more than Ethiopia as a whole.
He's flown a private jet 1 million miles in the last year. A private jet 1 million miles in the last year. It's got to be. I mean, if that's just 1 year.
It'd be hilarious if, like, on his jet he had like one of those electric cars. So yeah, I flew my car over here.
He probably does. What an asshole. I like his movies, but he's kind of a punk. Did you guys hear about the scam he was involved in too? Like some kind of climate scam.
What?
All the money that he was raising was going to basically a slush fund or something like that. I can't quite remember the details. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, yeah, you got it when you say something like that.
Well, the slush fund is, preparations for when the ice caps, I'm sorry, you're looking for something right now?
Here we go. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio to return any funds linked to Malaysian 1MDB fraud. U.S. Justice Department. Yeah. U.S. This is dated. Where's the date?
That only could have been better if it was Nigerian.
October 2016. So, yeah, no kidding. It would be great if it was Nigerian.
From the Prince.
Leo is aiding the investigation into a Malaysian embezzlement scam linked to his hit film, The Wolf of Wall Street. Hollywood star contacted the U.S. Justice Department in July, just after it filed a lawsuit to seize more than $1 billion in allegedly ill-gotten assets tied to Malaysian state investment fund. Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with climate change, but man, $1 billion in fraud. Okay, great job, Leo. Great job. All right, go ahead, Korak.
Oh, okay. So wait, do you want me to just like read the article or skim through it, or
You can give us whatever
Just
you
read the
want.
tweets.
Just read
All
the
right.
tweets. All right.
Well, anyway,
let's do that.
well, I'll start with the title. Stars, politicians respond to Trump plan to withdraw U.S. from Paris climate agreement.
Our precious celebrities.
Yes, I like how it's stars and politicians, as if those are anything alike. But yeah, whatever.
Well,
All
they're
right.
both paid to say shit they don't mean.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, DC is basically political Hollywood.
It's nerd Hollywood.
Yeah. All right, go.
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio, Bette Midler, Barack Obama, and Al Gore all weighed in on the president's announcement. All right, so let's see. As expected, Donald Trump announces his plan to withdraw the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement. So Obama joined it in 2015, and reports on since Wednesday have said Trump's planning on leaving it, but it wasn't official until Thursday afternoon.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
interesting. A ceremony. That's an odd thought. A ceremony. What?
A ceremony? Oh, what was that?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know.
All right,
Wait,
Was that
somebody
Jay?
else? Somebody
I
joined?
think so.
Let me see. It's
I
got to
don't
be
see
you, Jay.
anybody else.
It's got to be you, Jay. All right. Why don't you skip down to the tweets? Let's just
Yeah.
read the awesome tweets.
The
Sounds
sweet,
good.
sweet tweets.
The sweet gems of wisdom.
Robert Igger. As a matter of principle, I've resigned from the President's Council over the hashtag Paris Agreement withdrawal. UN spokesperson. I love the symbol of the UN. It's such a evil-looking symbol. Anyway, the Secretary General's statement on the U.S. decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement, and like a link to that, so whatever. Bernie Sanders, Trump's decision to withdraw the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement is an abdication of American leadership and an international disgrace.
Come on. Oh, whoa, come on, dude. If you're gonna do
Shut
Bernie Sanders, you gotta do it right.
Trump's
decision to withdraw from the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement is an abdication of
That's
American
not even Bernie Sanders.
and an international disgrace.
That is Steven Crowder's impersonation of Bernie Sanders. Or Bernie Sanders.
And it'll benefit the millionaires and the billionaires. Anyway, Adam Schiff, Representative Adam Schiff. POTUS withdrawal from Paris Accord will forever damage our planet and our standing in the world. There is no planet B, Mr. President.
Well, not with that attitude.
Yeah.
We've got
Bill de Blasio. Oh, okay. The mayor of New York, at least according to his thing. Bill de Blasio. According to the Paris. Wait, what? Oh, abandoning the Paris Accords will be horribly destructive to the Earth and horribly destructive for New York City.
Well, then it is definitely the right decision if that last part is true.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Tim.
Just need a few more planes.
Read Tim Cook. Please read Tim Cook.
Tim Cook.
Is that the iPhone guy?
Yeah, decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement was wrong for our planet. Apple is committed to fighting climate change, and we will never waver. Oh, really, Tim? How many millions of iPhones, tens of millions of iPods, tens of millions of Apple computers are now rotting in landfills? You want to just go over those figures for me? Could you give one of your guys at Apple just do some quick calculations and get back to me?
I hate Apple. All around, I just hate them.
Make it to America. Exactly. Those big ass rusty ships hauling them over here? I think they are.
George Takei. Trump is having the U.S. pull out of the Paris Climate Accord. Too bad somebody didn't tell his father he should have pulled out too. I bet you the amount of people sucking George Takei's dick over that is just innumerable.
Ew,
Yeah,
butter dick.
pretty much.
19,200 likes on Twitter for that and 5,700 retweets. Give me a break, man. Dude, it's like the cult of Takai. That guy for some reason is super Twitter famous. People think he's super witty and great. I'm not a fan.
I used to follow him on Facebook because he used to have really good puns, but I had to stop following over his like fucking virtue signaling cuckoldry.
Oh yeah, it's so bad. He is really bad at that.
Or is he really good at it?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yes, good point.
Oh man. Okay, let's see.
Now, to be a cuck, don't you at least have to be straight?
Yeah, pretty much, because you can't have a wife's kid.
He's a gay cuck. All right.
Let's read the Ultimate Scam Artist's short statement on this event. Al Gore. Okay, remember when he said all the polar bears would be dead by like 2011? Yeah, they're actually doing better. What's that?
Yeah, we were going to be flooded by 2015. He's got that sweet hockey graph.
Yeah, and how much goddamn money did he raise from that? And then he had that carbon credit scam that he ran for years.
Where he really tried.
Yeah, basically it was like indulgences the Catholic Church used to do. You just paid him a bunch of money, and then he's like, "You're cool, go ahead and pollute." Like that's basically what it was. And the dude he is worth an absolute fortune from doing that. Let me look up his net worth because he is.
Well, yeah, he sold his TV company to Al Jazeera.
Yeah, I loved that. Okay, Al Gore is worth $300 million. $300 million. The guy owns like 18 houses. His house I think it's in Denver, uses more power in a month than the average American home uses in a fucking year.
Yeah.
And he's gonna so let's listen to his lecture here, because I bet it's just gonna be the birth of Christ. All right.
Jesus.
Statement by former Vice President Al Gore on today's decision, et cetera, et cetera. Removing the United States from the Paris Agreement is a reckless and indefensible action. It undermines America's standing in the world, no, and it threatens to damage humanity's ability to solve the climate crisis in time. By 2015, if we don't solve this by 2011, we're all going to be dead. In 2015, we're all going to be swimming under the ocean. Oh, I'm going to revise that, I guess. That's why he's putting out his second movie. But make no mistake, if President Trump won't lead, the American people will. He's going to figure out a way to make another $300 million off of this, guaranteed. Civic leaders, mayors, governors, CEOs, investors, blah 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 blah. Not interesting. That's good enough.
What's funny is I watched The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah. How was that?
We at least survived.
Phillips movie with Dennis Quaid, who I love. But the opening scene is like this, I don't know, helicopter or something, or a bird or some shit. But it's traversing the glaciers, and it's just like this 4 minutes of just looking at the polar ice caps and glaciers. But it's the same beginning to his movie. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's the same beginning to
An Inconvenient Truth. Like he ripped it off verbatim.
Well, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if he just got permission to use it.
And I was like, what the? Didn't I just see this intro?
Wait,
I just think back, like,
which one came first?
I don't know. It's not like I watched either of them brand new.
Curious. Okay. 2006. And what was it? Well, okay, Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow.
Let's see what that is. 2004. Yeah, so Al Gore ripped it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. Okie doke. All right, where are we? Let's see.
I like Chelsea handlers.
Oh, go ahead and read that one.
Fuck
Oh.
yourself.
I'm guessing that Donald Trump doesn't see the irony in making his announcement to leave the Paris Agreement while standing in a garden. Yes, Trump announced that we are exterminating all plants.
Let's be clear. Let's
be clear.
As the greenhouse gas emissions gain in number, that's better for gardens. That aids
It kind of is.
in the growth of plants.
Wait, hold on. Why would something related to a greenhouse help plants? Please explain this.
Yeah, well, you stupid bimbo. Why are you still in America?
Here's the thing, too. They're always talking about how the world will be destroyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look. Humans have been on this planet for something like 250,000, 150,000 years.
6,000. The world's only been around for like 6,000 years. Good sir.
It's really not that long in the scheme of Earth, right? It's not that long. So even if man-made climate change comes to pass, all the humans die off, the world will still be here. It will recover. Plants and animals will be here, and people will be here to a lesser extent. Okay? Barring some kind of Venus level event, which is incredibly unlikely. So,
okay,
or we could just be like Gary Johnson and say eventually the Earth will be consumed by the sun anyway.
That is very true. It's all for naught.
Which it will. I'm just saying that.
It'd be a while. What were you saying, Jay?
What happened to Venus? That's what I want to know.
Oh, Venus is basically a greenhouse gas nightmare scenario. The pressure on Venus is incredibly high, the atmospheric pressure, and it is so hot as to basically, I mean, they've landed a couple of landers on there. Russia did one in the 70s. It only lasted, I think, for about 12 hours before it was completely destroyed. So Venus is basically a hellhole. Nothing can ever survive on that, barring some incredible change, which is incredibly unlikely. So yeah, I mean, unless Earth becomes Venus, the Earth will recover. It will continue on. New life will spring up, new species, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a matter of time. Humans can't be here forever. We're not going to be here forever. Mm-hmm. It's just not the way things work. So anyway.
Well, as long as the only thing we have to worry about is our extinction, I guess we can move on.
Well, no, because the next thing we're talking about is the Weather Channel's view, and it's all apocalypse all the time.
Yeah, Jay, why don't you take that one?
Apparently, according to the Weather Channel,
we're all going to
die. The sky
die.
is falling, and it's absolute chaos, and dogs and cats will be living together, and tornadoes will be coming out of your toaster because we denied climate change once.
Because Trump because Trump withdrew from the stupid Paris thing.
Accords, yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Next Democratic guy that gets in, they're going to sign some stupid thing like this. Okay? It's just going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
The next Republican's going to take it back.
Wasn't the Kyoto Protocols from like the 90s?
Yeah, it was back
a follow-up to it.
I'm pretty sure this is a follow-up to it.
Knock it off, people. Climate change isn't what they're making it sound like.
I agree. Do I believe that man is contributing somewhat to the climate and what's going on with the climate? Absolutely. Do I believe that it's catastrophic and we're all going to die in 20 years, as Al Gore likes to say? I'm not convinced. So, yeah.
Well, at least he'll be filthy rich when we all die.
Well, that's nice for him.
Yeah, he'll be very rich, and I'm sure he'll donate all of his money to climate causes instead of passing it on to his children while avoiding as many taxes as possible. I'm sure that will happen. So I've got great faith in Al Gore.
If he donates it to climate causes, wouldn't it just go back to him?
Like the
He
Clinton
should just start
Foundation.
paying himself for carbon things. This is a perfect deal for him. He buys climate indulgences from himself and is able to write off the money that he uses to buy them on his taxes, therefore washing his money. It's
Huh.
great. It's a perfect plan.
So it's like the Pope committing all the sins he feels like and just pardoning himself.
It's amazing. All right. Let's move
Forgive
on,
me.
guys. We have talked about the Kyoto, or what is this thing? The Paris Accord for a long time. So let's move on to chaos at the Texas State House. Jay, you wanted to talk about this one. Why don't you take it?
From politicians threatening the globe to politicians threatening to shoot each other in the face.
Oh, come on, you screwed up the transition. Speaking of getting out of things. Speaking of get out.
How does? Well, oh yeah, okay. Get out. So there was a bill that was recently passed in Texas, forcing state and local government agents, police, fire, EMS workers, and the like, to bus a cat. No, there's no cat busing. To report on. Well, here's the thing: if you are a driver of a car and you get stopped by the police and you don't have a license, you go to jail. Not jail, but you get arrested until proof of who you are can come to surface. That's how.
Oh, we just lost him.
We didn't need him anyway.
We've lost him.
Jay,
All
come
right.
back.
Jay, you there?
Well, the show must go on. So anyway, he was.
I thought I was here.
Okay, go.
What the hell's going on? So you get stopped. You don't have your license because you're illegal and you don't have a license. The government has a responsibility, whether federal, state, or local, to find out who you are. Because more likely than not, you're not carrying a license because your license says you are a bad guy. So you get investigated until there is proof of who you are, and that could take up to 72 hours that a cop can hold you. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
still there.
All right, wonderful. So the law for Texas is now, if it comes out that you've had an interaction with the police, you can't prove who you are. You get turned over to ICE, which seems pretty rational to me. But the opponents of it are calling it a "show me your papers" law.
You mean like every person that drives has to show their ID, their driver's license on demand when a cop pulls them over? So what are you supposed to do with undocumented or illegal aliens that are driving? What are you supposed to do? Just okay. Are you illegal? Si, senor.
Well, in
On
California,
your way.
we actually.
My apologies.
In California, we actually give them driver's licenses. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And prior to
Talk
that,
about Texas.
if you're an illegal alien driving a car and you get stopped, you wouldn't get arrested, but they wouldn't let you drive. So you had 45 minutes to get somebody else to come to where you are that has a driver's license and pick up your car. That's not something that happens if you or I forget our license.
No, it's not.
But if you're illegal, that's a special thing that you're given a chance to. You or I,
Fuck that.
car towed, and we would have a summons to appear in court if we were not outright arrested.
Oh, brother. You know what happened to just treating people equal under the law?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
So what happened is during the heated rhetoric that came from this, because they just happened to be talking about it, there was a protest, and they were saying, we're here, we're Latino, get used to it, or some
And
version
we're
of that.
illegal. Didn't they say they were
Yeah,
illegal as well?
I don't
we're
know.
here, fuck
I
off.
haven't seen that be confirmed though, those signs.
No, it was a chant,
Oh, okay. I
and
just
that
kept
was
hearing that there were
confirmed.
signs. Okay.
Well, he says in his Facebook post that it was a chant, that we're here and we're not going away.
They did some
Uh,
Spanish chant. I know that. I saw the clip of it.
mhm.
Mm.
So, so he's like, okay, well, we'll see about that, and he called ICE on them. And for
Oh.
some reason, he thought
I
it was
love that so much.
to tell the other lawmakers, like, hey, just so you know, I called ICE on everybody, so that thing happened. Let's keep going the rest of our meeting. And Pancho and Ramon got pissed about it. And yes, the guy's name is Pancho, and yes, the other guy's name is Ramon.
Oh, I thought you were just being an ass.
No, not this time. That was the hilarious.
Yeah, I actually thought you were. I thought you were just
No.
saying that too.
No, well, it was Pancho. I can't think of Pancho's last name, but it's Pancho, so fuck yes. And it was like Ramon Ramirez or something like that. Pancho actually
Ramon
got
Romero.
Romero, Ramon Romero, um, got in contact uh, with him, and Ramon threatened him, like, "I will catch you outside." How about that?
Catch me
And
outside. How about that?
yeah, and so he's like, "Is that a threat? Are you threatening me? Because if you're threatening me, I shall be forced to shoot you in defense."
Oh,
And
God.
and it was posted by um, one of those bullshit UK. Wasn't the Sun, but it was something like the Sun.
Daily Caller?
That
Is
a
that it?
congressman
Or no?
threatened, or a state congressman threatened to shoot another congressman in the face or some shit.
If
But yeah,
he attacked him.
yeah, that part wasn't mentioned.
Yeah. Was it the Guardian that had that really ridiculous headline?
Guardian.
Oh.
Yeah, that was some serious. That is just. I mean, so blatant too. But it's blatant to the point of.
So that's not
That's
just me,
something.
Brash. You're quiet as shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really quiet.
We can't hear you, man.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean that is so blatant as to be comical. It's almost like it's something the Onion would write. It's like an onion. It's like literally like an Onion article because it distorts the truth of the matter to push an agenda so hard as to be hilarious.
Yeah, it really was. It was just pathetic. But there's like absolutely no information on what happened to the crowd. I couldn't find anything. So did anybody
My guess is my guess is that there were zero consequences.
Like, I called ICE, everybody. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
And then they scattered like cockroaches.
I mean, they're called the cucarachas. It's a completely different species.
Well, we've got some links to a bunch of stories on that in the description. So if our listeners want to read up on it, what's that?
I said, well, I read those. They didn't have anything on the crowds.
No, I mean just in general. We've got some. I'm just saying we've got those linked.
I was a little light on names.
Yeah, a little light on names.
You actually want the names.
But you got it pretty good there. So, all right. Any final thoughts on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Show me your papers.
Support.
I'm only disappointed that nobody actually punched each other in the face.
Yeah, that would have been way better because it'd be nice. It'd be nice if we got some third world fisticuffs going on in America. That'd be really great.
Well, there was the Facebook post by the original guy who called the ice, and he said that he was attacked, and then in the rebuttal, Ramon was like, he pulled a cousin Vinny and was like, everything that guy said was bullshit. But
Nice.
Yeah.
Can we just go back to the sorry?
what? Go ahead.
Oh, can we just go back to the days where when a massive group of people crossed a border without that nation's permission and starts rallying outside of government buildings that you just like slaughter them? I mean, can we just go back to those days?
Oh, no.
Nah.
I mean, I'm for it, but no. But then there's video of what happened, and it pretty much everything that.
Oh no, we
I
lost
think
Jay
we lost
again.
Jay again. Right.
Oh, it's like, oh man, I haven't felt this good since the last time he left.
Fuck everybody.
Hey, watch
Fuck
your
everybody.
language. My mom's watching.
Hi, Mrs. Faggot. But the video showed that everything the guy said had actually happened. There's like confirmation of it. Next.
All right. Next. So last week we talked extensively on the enormous collective baby tantrum that is Evergreen College. And there's been some stuff that has happened this week. Matt actually did a very in-depth, I think it was 25 minutes long video. That's
4 minutes and 6 seconds.
That's double the length that he usually does videos. So yeah, it was pretty impressive what he was going through. And man, so this guy, dang it, I closed the tab. There's a dude on YouTube that compiled, he went through 20 hours of footage from the protests, and I use that term very loosely in this case.
I like to just refer to it as a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
That's all I will refer it.
A temper tantrum with hostages.
Yeah, with hostages. That's a great way.
Oh yeah.
A collective. Sorry, go ahead.
That was the one thing that I've been seeing from all those clips. What that really, really pissed me off was like they weren't just throwing a temper tantrum. They were legitimately holding people hostage.
Yeah, like they wouldn't.
Ganging up on these people.
The president of the college. The president of the college says, "Hey, I need to use the restroom," and this shit-faced little kid just goes, "You can hold it." I'm like, he's a grown man. He's like 60 years old. Get out of his way, you pissant piece of shit.
I would just peed on him.
That's the black trans disabled.
Oh man, did you? That guy's not. He's not disabled. He's just black trans. But did you see that kid? He was in his little hot pants.
Oh no, he's disabled. If you listen to him, he's disabled.
Then all of those little crybaby little bitches are disabled.
No, there's two
by virtue of being fucking stupid.
There's actually two trans black people in the videos. There's the one that's in like a wheelchair, and then there's the one that's this tall, skinny kid wearing hot pants, knee highs, high-heeled boots, and like a tank top. And he's jumping up and down, saying basically "fuck you, George" and all this stuff. And apparently he's one of the leaders, or the leader, I guess, of the collective baby tantrum. So anyway, this guy went through and picked out some really great stuff. And okay, here's some notable comments. Okay, that one. Okay, whiteness is the most violent fucking system to ever breathe. It says one student. This white ass faculty members need to be holding him and all these people accountable. Here's another. I'm telling you, you're speaking to your ancestor, all right? We have been here before you. We built these cities. We had civilization way before you ever had. Coming out your caves.
Was it?
How in the hell are you 20-year-olds the ancestors of these faculty members who are in their 50s and 60s?
I think.
And I know what he means by it,
yeah.
but yeah, I know what she means by it because it's a woman that says it. But it's just it's you sound stupid. She sounds absolutely stupid, and that they built I guess black people built the civilization before white people came out of their caves. Okay, I mean that is incredibly racist. That is black supremacy right there.
Well, it's not commonly known, but the Dark Ages are actually the Darky Ages.
Oh, I knew it.
When white people went to Africa and destroyed all artificial flooring and anything over a single story. So we put our civilization on hold for 400 years while we just fucked Africa right in its dirty black asshole. And then we came back and we built our civilizations afterwards. So then
we just wanted to make sure they couldn't do it first, because I mean, I don't understand why. I have no clue. Like I don't understand the mentality of someone saying these kind of things because they sound absolutely stupid. Just sound stupid. Like
Africa.
What?
If your iPhone comes from Africa.
I guess so.
Even though it's been found recently that we found an older ancestor in Europe than we found in Africa.
I saw that. Yeah, that it was an ancestor that from what I remember, it was an ancestor that likely came from Europe that may have gone to Africa and spawned humanity. From what I remember, that's kind of funny.
Like that. If you're already that ancestor, then you're spawning humanity from Europe. It doesn't matter if you travel somewhere else. You were there. That's the key here.
Jay, I don't know what happened, but your audio just got way better.
Oh, lucky me. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, they also recently found, at least according to the Daily Caller and some other stuff, that the ancient Egyptians were not.
Yeah. King Tut was basically 99% European, is what his genetics breakdown was, or something like that.
Which makes me think, because the phrase used to be "we was kings" and shit. So now that they're no longer kings, does that just mean we was shit?
Oh man. Okay. Okay. So anyway, the video, this 20 hours of video, was created for, maybe it wasn't full 20 hours, but let's see here. In response to the video going viral, students demanded that the video created for Day of Absence and Day of Presence that was stolen by white supremacists and edited to expose and ridicule the students and staff be taken down by the administration this Friday. How in the hell is the administration going to take down a video from the internet? What do these kids think that they just go into it's like a directory? Oh, here's the internet. Let's see. Let's go to internet.com. Click, 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 click. Okay, let's see. Let's just go find. Oh, there it is. There's our video that was stolen by white supremacists. Let's just go ahead and delete that. Click, drag it over to the trash bin. Boom, it's off the internet forever. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. I thought that was really funny.
Well, that explains why
they demand that they take it off the internet.
To disarm the Olympian Police Department, I guess.
Disarm the police and protect us were consecutive demands.
Yeah, and that was pretty hilarious. And then to top that one, they were saying, he said, look, he basically gave a speech, and I love that he started his speech by saying, "Hello, my name is George, and I use the pronouns he and him. And then he goes on to apologize for stealing the land from Native Americans, that he personally did himself.
Jesus.
100 and some odd years ago. He personally stole that land from the Native Americans.
400.
So I'm glad he apologized for doing that, because what an asshole. Okay. I thought that was just hilarious that he started the he, him. And I mean, it's like he is giving them everything, and they not only do they throw it back in his face, he thinks that by doing this, he's going to earn their favor, earn their respect. But even the students are ridiculing him. There's this shot where he says something or other, and he's like, "Yeah, we can do that." I can't remember what demand it was, and this girl sitting on the table, she goes, "You're just giving in to everything," like, she's just incredulous. She's like almost just chiding him for being a pussy. Like, what are you doing? We are not going to respect you for this, and obviously they don't.
Yeah, really. And it happened like the whole time. And this is why America does not negotiate with terrorists.
Yep.
You don't capitulate to demands, because there's just more demands. And it happens throughout all of recorded time. You see it in everything. You start with no smoking on half the building, or at a restaurant. There's the smoking and non-smoking.
Yep.
Then it went to non-smoking completely.
Yep.
Now you're smoking outside. Now there's non-smoking within 100 feet of a freaking office building at some parts.
And some people can't even smoke in their yards, I believe.
Yeah.
You can't smoke,
Once a group takes hold of something, and they are a group, to stay in power, you have to keep pushing further and further.
Yeah, and it's never enough. That's why in situations like this, you say, "Look, I'll review what you guys want, but I'm not going to talk to you if you're going to swear at me. It's just not going to happen." Okay?
If you fucking leave, George.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, they just scream at him. Okay, so also on the video that was leaked, let me just read this
sorry,
part.
Before you move on, yeah, well, actually, I do believe, Jay, that the primary reason isn't necessarily just that they will keep doing demands, but the number one reason not to negotiate with people who take hostages is because that incentivizes taking hostages.
Yes, it does.
If you don't negotiate with people who take hostages, then taking hostages becomes useless.
There was a video there was another college after Mizzou. It was like around the same time as Mizzou, actually. And these students went to the president with demands and things like that, and they were occupying the room. And he just said, "Look, if you guys don't clear out of here by 6 p.m., you'll be expelled." Guess what happened? They cleared out.
Wait. Who's my hero? Where did this happen?
Yeah, I can't remember. I'll see if I can find it and add it to the notes, but if I remember, hopefully I remember. Yeah, he basically said, "Look, I understand you're upset. This is not the way to do it. If you guys aren't out of the building by 6 p.m., you're going to be expelled and arrested." And guess what happened? They left. So, okay. So part of this video, they also demanded an extensive forensic investigation of the theft of this video, stating they are determined to learn who stole it. Quote, "If that investigation yields a suspect, we will seek criminal charges against the individual in consultation with the Attorney General." Okay, well, how are the police going to arrest him when you guys say they can't carry any weapons?
Well, wait, now this video, who was it taken by?
I believe by student. No, this was a video that was put together by hashtag expose Evergreen to let's see, video created for a day of absence and day of presence. It was stolen by quote unquote white supremacists. So apparently they put it together, and what they're upset about is that it got out and white supremacists edited it to make them look foolish. No, guys, I'm pretty sure you made yourselves look foolish. I watched the video. Pretty sure that there's no way that you could edit around that to make you look anything but foolish. Maybe you could replace the audio to say something sensible. Other than that, I think you played yourselves.
So so it wasn't released. Like someone took like
That's what they're
SD
alleging.
card.
That's what they're alleging. So whatever. I mean, there's a video in the link here. Let's see how long it is. Yeah, so it's 7 minutes, and this is really like this is kind of hard stuff to watch. There's this mob of students. There's this poor teacher in front of this wooden door, and they are screaming at her. She's the only one. She's blocking the door, and they are just screaming at her. It just gets worse and worse and worse as you watch it. And they attacked some guy. Okay, here's an amazing shot I'm watching. This is they barricaded the faculty in a faculty area, and for something like for 12 hours they danced out front screaming, this racist faculty has got to go. Really, really ingenious chant. And they put up signs saying, fuck the faculty, you all are racist. I mean, this is a liberal arts college in an area where it's like 90% leftists. The school is run by leftists. And it's not good enough. They're all racist, even though they bend over backwards to prove they're not racist.
If you look at the video of the initial confrontation with the Professor Brett, who looks like a complete scrub, by the way, even though he's teaching class, I didn't.
He does.
I heard black people, but in the video, I didn't see any black people. Like all the people who are right directly in front of him, confronting him, all white people.
That is true. I saw that.
It's insane.
Okay, this is pretty funny too. So the Evergreen, okay, headline from the Daily Caller: Evergreen state protesters demand no homework. College president hurries to oblige, and he does. This girl starts screaming at him. We all have homework. We all have projects that are due. What are you doing about it? Because we can't work on them. We can't turn them in right now. And he just goes, she says, have you sent an email to the faculty? He goes, well, I don't know the names of everyone here in the room, so I can't do. And she goes, no, all of it, all the school, the entire school. You have to do it for everyone. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. Like it was basically that fast.
Yeah.
The guy has zero backbone. Zero.
Jeez.
Okay, so this is how it went down. Here's the student quote: all of us students. Okay, she talks. Okay, I'm reading it as it's written. All of us are students and have homework and projects and things due. Have you sent an email out to our faculty letting them know what's been done with that? And he says, that is the first thing I'll do. I have not done it yet. I'll do it right now. So they need to be told that these assignments won't be done on time, and we don't need to be penalized for that. That's what the girl said while she was gesturing. And okay, so did you guys see the video where they make him put his hands in his pockets because it's for some reason pointing is bad? Did you guys see that part?
Yeah, I did.
No.
And he does it. He does it. He's like, okay. I mean, unbelievable.
Well, I found your hero, Jay.
Who was it?
Oh, you found it?
Ohio State president. Yeah. The
Nice.
article's like at Ohio State last week, and this was back in April 2016. A sit-in and protest inside a university building was cut short when students were warned that they would be forcibly removed by police, arrested, and possibly expelled if they did not vacate the premise within a few hours by 5 a.m. And the person who relayed the message from the president, and Dr. Drake, was this: if you are students, and I think the vast majority of you are, I want you to understand that you are violating the Student Code of Conduct as dictated to me by Dr. Drake, 15 minutes ago to me on the phone. We have chosen to try to work with you this evening because we respect you. This is your university. And we want to have dialogue. We want the dialogue to extend beyond tonight. But if you refuse to leave, then you'll be charged with student code of conduct violation, and I'm telling you this now because I want you to have good thought and careful consideration. If you're here at 5 a.m., we will clear the building and you will be arrested, and we will give you the opportunity to go to jail for your beliefs. Our police officers will physically pick you up, take you to a paddy wagon, and take you to jail.
I love that. We will give you the choice to go to jail for your beliefs. Oh, that guy's
That's how you're
amazing.
supposed to handle this.
It is how you're supposed to handle it.
That guy was a 60s lefty. It's like, I'll let you go to jail for it. It'll be fun. You guys will love it. Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm letting a Buckeye be my hero. Never mind.
Oh man, I don't care. I don't care where he comes from. That guy's my hero.
Well, I like
That's
how
how.
University. So no Buckeye.
Yeah, I know. Okay, did you guys see the part where George is having a rough time and he says, "Look, guys, I need you to clear out. I've got claustrophobia." And some chick yells at him, "Students of color have to work in threatening environments every day," responded one protester, while others started snapping in approval. Welcome. Get to work. It's like, man.
I saw her so many times during the clips, and she's always holding the same coffee cup in her right hand.
Yeah, she's one of the I guess the leaders as well. If I'm not misunderstanding.
What is it that Matt called him? A latte socialist or a latte communist?
Latte communist. That's
Yeah.
amazing. You know what they don't have in socialist countries? Starbucks.
Food.
Just bread lines.
I mean, the way these kids are talking to him. The way these kids are talking to him. Okay, so at one point, a student yells at him like at the top of her lungs, I believe. "No, fuck you, George. We don't want to hear a goddamn thing you have to say."
Then why were you there?
You talk so fucking much. No, you shut the fuck up. I mean, why he is allowing them to talk like that, I have no idea. But there is another exchange where some student is screaming at him, saying, in the same kind of manner, and this other student walks up to him and says, "George, you just have to ignore the language. They're passionate. This is just how it is, and you have to hear their voice," or something like that. I'm thinking, are you kidding me?
Oh, fuck
the
them.
The first F-bomb, and he just said, "Look, you guys get one warning, okay? Do not curse during our discussions here, or I'm out."
That's right.
And he should have followed through.
That's racist.
Yeah, that's racist, of course. Everything's racist, so what does it matter?
You can't correct English in English classes in some.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you have to allow Ebonics.
Oh God.
So that is just like, yeah, I remember an article. Okay, did you guys see? This is from the Olympian. Evergreen evacuates campus due to direct threat and will remain closed Friday.
What?
And yeah, when somebody called in, I'm just refreshing to see if there's anything new. Somebody called in some kind of threat, which the police relayed to the college officials. And let's see, all are asked to leave campus or return to residence halls for inspections. College spokesman Zach Powers told the Olympian that the closure was out of an abundance of caution due to a violent threat against the college received by local law enforcement. Powers said the threat was called in late Thursday morning to the business line for the Thurston 911 Communications, which dispatches emergency calls in the area, and they passed it along to President George Bridges. Powers posted to the college website at 5:25 p.m. And basically, there's no details on what the threat was or what it may have said or who it came from. Just that it was evaluated to be serious enough for law enforcement to do it. Oh, stupid ad is playing.
Like the caller was like, "Listen up, honey. We got a bomb in a building, and it's gonna blow up."
I don't know.
everybody of color.
I'm wondering if this is not the student group and maybe somebody who wants to frustrate their efforts, because this gets them off campus. Because if George can't be on campus, maybe George called it in because he was sick of dealing with these
No,
kids.
no. There's no way he got a loan for that. It's like, when they allowed him to go to the bathroom, they followed him in.
That's true, right? No, but they had to leave. They had to let him leave at some point, go home and go to sleep.
Can you imagine that bomb call? Like, hi, my name is George. I apologize for the rape and pillaging of the.
No. You skipped the pronouns.
You didn't do the pronouns.
My pronouns.
The pronouns, then the natives.
There's a bomb of whiteness that's going to explode violently.
It's gonna take out all the trans or the black trannies with disabilities in the school. It's gonna kill all of them.
All the poor colored people of color.
Oh man! All right, so the last item that I had on the list was an opinion piece from the New York Times, and it's entitled "When the Left Turns on Its Own," which this is kind of an interesting title for them to run because they've been so supportive of like protests, you know what I mean? And so he says this is by, let's see, Barry Weiss, Brett Weinstein. Brett Weinstein is, he actually pronounces it Weinstein. Is a biology professor at Evergreen State College in Olympia, et cetera, who supported Bernie Sanders. Admiringly retweets Glenn Greenwald and was an outspoken supporter of the Occupy Wall Street movement. You could be forgiven for thinking that Mr. Weinstein, who identifies himself as deeply progressive, is just the kind of teacher that students at one of the most left-wing colleges in the country would admire. Instead, he has become a victim of an increasingly widespread campaign by leftist students against anyone who dares challenge ideological orthodoxy on campus. This professor's crime? He had the gall to challenge a day of racial segregation. This is pretty strong stuff coming from the Washington Times. The New York Times. A bit of background. The Day of Absence is an evergreen tradition. I'm going to kind of skip that. Mr. Weinstein thought this was wrong, speaking of the segregation. The biology professor said as much in a letter to Rashida Love, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let me see. Okay.
Rashida Love's a fake last name, too.
Oh, definitely. For expressing his view, Mr. Weinstein was confronted outside his classroom last week by a group of some 50 students, insisting he was a racist. And they go on to kind of go over that. Okay, following the protest, college police ordered by Evergreen's president to stand down told Mr. Weinstein they couldn't guarantee his safety on campus. In the end, he held his biology class in a public park. And let's see. So then it goes a little. Okay, the Weinstein saga is just the latest installment in a series of similar instances of illiberalism on American campuses. Illiberalism. That's great. In March, a planned speech by Charles Murray at Middlebury ended with the political scientists escorted off campus by police, and his interview, Professor Allison Stranger, in a neck brace in April. A speech at Claremont McKenna by the conservative writer Heather McDonald had to be live streamed when protesters blocked access to the auditorium. Shutting down conservatives has become de rigueur. I don't know, it's French. But now anti-free speech activists are increasingly turning their ire on free-thinking progressives. Liberals should cede the responsibility to defend free speech on campus to conservatives. or shouldn't. Sorry. After all, without free speech, what's liberalism about? And that's the point. These idiots are not liberals. They are fascists.
Communists.
Communists, yeah. But they basically want they use these people use violence, threats of violence to political end. That is fascism. That is fascism.
Well, it's what fascists did, but I mean, communists do. All the communist regimes do that too. So
that is true.
Technically, that's terrorism.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's kind of how it works. It's terrorism until they're the government, then it's just communism.
This is by far the best line in the entire opinion piece. The Weinstein saga is just the latest installment in a series of similar instances of illiberalism on American campuses. Illiberalism perpetrated by fascists. And that basically sums it up. These people, these kids do not believe in free speech. They don't. They believe in you agree with us or we will destroy you. That's what they believe in.
Liberals get the bullet too.
Yeah, basically. Well, these kids aren't liberals. Liberals believe in free speech. These kids do not. They believe in bullying, shouting down, and destroying their enemies by any means necessary.
Word.
So,
yeah, it's just so
all right. What's that?
It's just so pathetic to. Well, first off, the article written by a Jew about a Jew who supported another Jew, and it's nice that they're taking care of themselves and each other. But
oh boy, here we go.
Firing up the gas chambers.
Gas chambers. That's insane. All right. No, that's the story. But they're just, while they're eating their own, they're also just being ridiculous about it. A person cannot infringe on another person's First Amendment right. Only a government can do that. So there is that issue that needs to be taken into account. But what happened at Evergreen was not a First Amendment issue. They were trying to force people, and from what the statistics are, 199 individuals were going to be staying on campus, while the entire rest of the campus was supposed to not show up. And they were going to force that issue. That's insane.
It is insane. It's forced segregation. We have not seen forced segregation in this country since the 60s. 50 years ago is when the last time we saw forced segregation. And these people, these students, these social justice warriors want to bring that segregation back. That is insane to me. That was a hard-fought fight.
That people actually lost their lives for.
Yes, it was an actual issue. It was an actual grievance. These kids throwing this tantrum, what are they even talking about? What are they protesting? They are not protesting anything. There's nothing real there. They're calling Brett a racist for saying, look, I support the Day of Presence, I support the Day of Absence, but not in this manner. I have supported this in the past. I cannot support this because this is a show of force and it is segregation. For that, he gets his email leaked, his private email that he was between faculty, gets that leaked to the students, and boom, they explode because this is racism? How the hell is this racism?
Because he white. Even though Jews.
I guess that's the answer. And how many students are on that campus?
2,000, I think, was the total number.
So these protesters are disrupting the other students. I'm guessing probably somewhere around the number of 1,500 other students that just want to go to school. They just want to get their education and move on. But
you're holding the faculty hostage in a
Yeah.
room. They're not
how are they
getting
supposed to teach? They are effectively destroying the entire semester.
But
Because I mean, what semester's going to be over any minute? What are they going to do? Stick around for the summer when there's only summer classes going on and protest that? I mean, how are they going to? How far are they going to take this?
well, like I said
They
last
might-
week, it's kind of a smart move to be the ones on campus, not the ones off campus. Because when you're the group that's off campus, the people on campus have a much more enjoyable time that day.
That's true.
So.
And here's the thing, though. What needs to happen over there is whoever, if they have a board of directors, I imagine, or something to that effect, this George needs to be fired, or at least step down and take a different position that's not leadership. And somebody with a set of balls needs to get in there
Like Dr.
and
Dre.
tell these kids, if you guys don't disperse within 24 hours,
We will open fire.
we're going to start it. We're going to start every one of you is going to be violated on the honor code or whatever code they have there, and you're going to be gone for behavioral reasons. We're going to expel you. You will lose your tuition. You're not going to get grades for this semester, and you're going to be out. So those are that's your decision. Stop this behavior, or you're going to be expelled. That's what needs to happen, or this is going to go on forever. And you're going to see the same thing happen as what happened in Mizzou. You're going to see less donations to this school. You're going to see enrollment drop, because if you're just a normal kid in Washington watching this, and you're thinking about putting an application into this school, I think it's safe to say that you may reconsider.
Well, hell, on the call-in show last night for Beating the Beta, there was a kid who was a junior in high school, rethinking the possibility of going to a college, and not even a college where this stuff has happened, but a college where this could happen.
Did he say which school?
No, he's a junior. He hasn't decided where he wanted
Gotcha.
to go, but he was talking about whether he wanted to even go at all.
I mean, why would you want to attend Washington University after this? What could they possibly have to offer, unless you're an anarchist or something like that, and you think, hey man, it'd be cool to be involved in this quote unquote movement.
I'm getting extra credit in my Anarchy 101 class.
It's just insane. Like I don't understand exactly what these kids hope to gain. I mean, okay, they're all screaming about the racist faculty has got to go.
And
Okay, how do they know? What's that?
And the white violence. Just the act of being white is violence towards them.
Is that, did someone actually say that in this protest crap?
Yeah, the coffee bitch was talking about people of color dealing with violence. It's not color on color violence; it's white violence. It's always white violence against.
Yeah, that is true.
These.
Yeah, didn't she say whiteness is the most violent something to ever breathe? Is what she said.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you.
Which
conquer. We actually were kings.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, but not anymore though. Right? I mean,
the one left.
There's not a lot of that going on. There's no ethnic cleansing by. I mean, the closest thing I can think of at this point is South Africa, but that was 20, 25 years ago, where they still had apartheid and had actual institutional racism going on.
It's today in South Africa. They are taking the farms of white people.
No, that's
but that I'm talking about white aggression, white violence. White people as a group do not seek out minorities to destroy. That doesn't happen today on a large governmental institutional scale. Sorry, go ahead, Korak.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, Zimbabwe is where they're where they drove out the white people / murdered a bunch of them, and now their leader is begging for the white people to come back because they don't have any idea how to farm.
Did you guys see? You're right. There was an article that I read, and it had some photos of this farmer. They did an article of the farmer who's returning to his farm after like 8 years, and he's on his property, and everything is destroyed. His house is burned down. His equipment has been destroyed, is stolen or destroyed. Barn is gone. Like, it's just rubble. Like, his house made of bricks. It's just, there's the chimney left, and then like half of one wall. It's so he's not only do they need him to come back and food for the country, but now he has to rebuild his house, rebuild his barn, obtain new equipment, obtain fertilizer, obtain make sure that the water pumps and the sprinklers and all the irrigation, that's all working again. It's going to take him 2 years, 3 years to get back where he was, if he can do it that fast. And I love it. So, and I actually used that example of Zimbabwe. So one of these because I got onto the hashtag Evergreen day of, before there were any stories. I was on Twitter. I saw Brett Weinstein's brother posted something. As that tweet came across, I started researching it. I'm like, this is crazy. I started tweeting it out to Matt and different people saying, hey, look, something's going on here. And this one chick, I was, what's that?
Yeah, your timeline sucked.
So when I was tweeting back and forth all night with some of these, mostly tweeting too. Some were tweeting back, some of the protesters, and this girl was telling me, I said, I tweeted out, "You are insane," and she tweeted back something almost as insane as "your people enslaving mine for 400 years," on and on. I said because something about, she said, there's no such thing as reverse racism. And I said, or no, she said, whites cannot be the victims of racism. So I tweeted back a link to the Zimbabwe government throwing whites off their land. I said, what about this? Of course, no response, but you know what I mean? It's insanity.
Jeez.
Any final thoughts, guys, on any of the stuff we've talked about?
No, I don't
I'm good.
have any.
Yeah, we went really long.
Let's see.
On this one.
I don't know. Friedel and Roof.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go ahead and disavow Kotrak's statement there on behalf of radiation therapy, because that guy's an evil asshole.
Possibly deport.
But that was
Dylan Roof did
joke.
nothing wrong.
Oh my god, I disavow Kotrak completely.
Yeah, you're never
Too
coming
late.
back
I
on the
already
show.
disavowed you.
Tasteless joke.
Wait.
Absolutely
Oh, okay,
tasteless.
Greasy. I'll post a little clip of you later on Twitter, that a useful one from a few weeks.
Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. We are going to wrap it up here, and I'm just going to say thank you to the 3 or 4 people that watched us on and off tonight. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Thanks to Steven. Let's see. Steven Suarez was in the chat. Dan Irish looks like he just showed up. Where you been, buddy?
What a faggot.
Zafan. He was in here for a while. Yeah, even Mikey stopped by, the accidental poet. So we appreciate all you guys stopping by, saying hi to us. And I'll just go ahead and sign off by saying my name is the Brash Rhino. My personal pronouns are he, him. Signing off tonight with me is Jay Fry. His personal pronouns are
she and it. That is shit.
Thank you. And also we have Coatrack 89, and their personal pronouns are Z and Zim?
It changes frequently.
Right now, it's Z and Zim. And lastly, the girl
Last and least.
Lastly, the non-binary person who joined us late, the greasy faggot, and their personal pronouns are
Greasy and faggot.
excellent. So until next week, we will see you, and thanks again for joining us.